Have you ever felt a strong urge to change your life's direction? Ever wondered if it might be a sign from God? In this vast, interconnected universe we inhabit, the divine has a mysterious way of communicating with us. It whispers in our souls, nudges us in moments of silence, and sometimes screams at us through the chaos. But it's not always easy to discern these divine signals, especially when they're wrapped in the cloak of everyday life. Today, we're going to explore this fascinating subject that has intrigued minds and stirred souls for millennia. We're going to delve into the mystery of divine guidance and how it manifests in our lives. You see, sometimes the divine might be nudging you towards a new path, a new direction, a new purpose. But how do you know? How can you be sure that it's not just a fleeting thought or a whimsical desire? Well, there are signs, yes, signs that might indicate God is leading you in a new direction. We're not talking about grand supernatural events, but subtle personal experiences that slowly steer you away from your current path and into a new one. We're going to explore 6 such signs today, from feeling God's prompting, facing difficult situations, feeling restless and unsettled, to experiencing closed doors in your current circumstances, being stretched beyond your comfort zone, and having a fresh longing to do something different. These could all be signs that God is moving you in a new direction. The divine speaks to us in many ways, and recognizing these signs can be a step towards understanding its guidance. But remember, this journey is deeply personal and unique to each one of us. So, as we explore these signs, I invite you to reflect on your own experiences and consider if you've felt these nudges in your life. Stay with us as we delve into these intriguing signs. You might find the answers you've been seeking. The first sign is a feeling of God's prompting, a subtle nudge in your heart. This divine prompting is more than just a fleeting thought or a passing fancy. It's a deep-seated, persistent feeling that you're being guided towards a certain action or direction, something that resonates within your spirit like a melody that only you can hear. Imagine you're sitting in a bustling coffee shop, surrounded by the chatter of conversations and the clatter of cups. Amidst this noise, your favorite song begins to play softly in the background. It's faint, almost overshadowed by the surrounding noise, but you recognize it. It's your tune. This is a lot like God's prompting. It's often subtle, easily drowned out by life's noise. But when you tune into it, it's unmistakable. God's prompting isn't a loud, thunderous command. Rather, it's a gentle whisper in your heart that urges you to move in a certain direction. This could be a feeling that you need to reach out to someone in need, a nudge to start a new project, or a push to step out of your comfort zone. So, how do you recognize this sign? It's all about developing spiritual sensitivity. This means tuning into your inner self, paying attention to your emotions, thoughts, and feelings. It's about quieting the noise of the world and tuning into that divine frequency where God's voice can be heard. It's about being still and knowing that He is God. Let's consider an example. Say you have a stable job, it pays well, and you're comfortable. But there's a nagging feeling in your heart that you're meant for more. You feel an urge to quit your job and start a non-profit organization to help the less fortunate. It's a scary thought, filled with uncertainty and risk, but the feeling is persistent, it doesn't go away. This could very well be God's prompting, urging you to step into a new direction. But what if you're unsure? What if you're afraid of misinterpreting your feelings or making a wrong decision? This is where prayer comes into play. Prayer is not just about asking for things, it's also about seeking clarity and wisdom. It's about asking God to confirm if this feeling, this prompting is from Him. It's about seeking His assurance and guidance as you navigate the unknown. Remember, God's prompting is not about making life easier or more comfortable. It's often about pushing you into uncharted territories, about stretching your faith. It's about growth, transformation, and stepping into the divine purpose He has laid out for you. So pay attention to that nudge in your heart, that whisper in your spirit. It could be God urging you to move in a new direction. It could be a sign that He's about to do something new and wonderful in your life. Remember, God's prompting is a gentle nudge, a whisper in your heart that can guide you towards your divine path. The second sign is facing difficult situations that seem to push you towards change. Imagine you're walking along a familiar path. basking in the comfort of knowing exactly where you're headed. Then, out of nowhere, you stumble upon a massive boulder blocking your way. You can neither move it nor go around it. This, my friends, is a metaphor for the difficult situations we face in life. They come uninvited, disrupting our plans and routines, and often they seem insurmountable. Yet these difficult situations might not be mere obstacles. They could be catalysts for change. They may be signs nudging you towards a new direction. It's like a divine detour, designed to lead you to a path you would not have considered otherwise. Let's take an example. Consider the story of a woman who lost her job unexpectedly. She was devastated, of course. She had a mortgage to pay, a family to support. But in the midst of that hardship, she realized that she had been unhappy in her job for a long time. She had always dreamed of starting her own business. This sudden job loss, as painful as it was, gave her the push she needed to pursue her dream. It was a difficult situation that led her to a new direction. Or take the instance of a man who went through a painful breakup. He was heartbroken, yes, but he also realized that he had been neglecting his own needs and aspirations in the relationship. The breakup was a wake-up call, a chance for him to focus on himself, to redefine his priorities. It was a difficult situation that steered him towards personal growth. So when you're faced with a difficult situation, it's important to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Is there a new direction I need to consider? Instead of viewing these situations as setbacks, see them as opportunities for growth. They are opportunities to learn, to evolve, to become stronger and wiser. This shift in perspective is not easy, I know. It requires courage and faith. It requires you to trust that there is a bigger plan at play, a plan that you might not fully understand yet. But remember, growth often comes from discomfort. Diamonds form under pressure, and so do we. So when life throws a curveball your way, don't be disheartened. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it guide you towards a new direction. Be open to the possibility that this difficult situation might be a divine sign, pointing you towards a path you were meant to walk. Challenges are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones guiding us towards a new direction. The third sign is a feeling of restlessness and unsettlement. Imagine for a moment you're sitting in your favorite armchair, a warm cup of tea in hand, and yet something feels off. There's an underlying current of unease, a sense of restlessness that won't let you fully immerse in the comfort of the moment. This feeling, my friends, is not to be dismissed as mere anxiety or worry. It could be a sign, a divine hint, suggesting that you're being moved in a new direction. Restlessness and unsettlement are tricky to navigate. They are like quiet whispers in a bustling crowd, easy to overlook, but if you listen closely, they carry a message. Now, this message isn't usually clear or straightforward. It's more like a puzzle, a riddle that you're meant to solve. And the solution, more often than not, is a new path, a fresh direction. Let's consider an example. Picture a woman who has spent a good portion of her life working in a corporate setup. She's successful by all conventional standards, has a great salary, a prestigious position, and yet she feels restless. She's unsettled and can't shake off the feeling that something is missing. This restlessness, this feeling of unsettlement could be a sign that she's being nudged towards a different path. Maybe something more fulfilling, maybe something that aligns with her true purpose. Another example could be of a young man fresh out of university who feels unsettled despite having a clear career path laid out in front of him. He's restless, unsure, and feels a strange disconnect with his chosen path. This could be a divine sign, encouraging him to seek a different direction, to follow a path that resonates with his soul. The key here is to acknowledge these feelings, not to push them away or bury them under the carpet. Acknowledgement is the first step towards understanding. And once you've acknowledged these feelings, it's time to seek guidance. And where does this guidance come from? It comes from within, from the divine power that resides in all of us. It comes from prayer, from quiet moments of reflection where you connect with your higher self. It comes from seeking wisdom from those who've walked this path before you, from those who've navigated the tricky waters of restlessness and unsettlement. Remember, these feelings are not punishments or burdens. They are divine nudges, encouraging you to seek, to question, to explore. They are signs that you're being moved towards a path that aligns with your soul's purpose. And once you've deciphered these signs, once you've understood the message they're trying to convey, it's time to act. It's time to step out of your comfort zone and embrace the change. Because restlessness and unsettlement are not just feelings, they are catalysts for transformation. They are the winds of change that push you towards growth and evolution. So next time you feel restless or unsettled, don't dismiss these feelings. Embrace them, seek their meaning, and let them guide you towards your true path. Because, my friends, restlessness and unsettlement can be divine nudges, pushing you towards a path that aligns with your soul's purpose. The fourth sign is experiencing closed doors in your current circumstances. Imagine yourself in a long corridor with doors on either side. You try to open each one, but they're all locked. You feel stuck, dispirited, and you might even question your direction. But what if I told you that these locked doors aren't setbacks, but signposts? They're not rejections, but redirections. Let's delve into this concept with a real-life example. Meet Sarah. She's been working at the same company for 10 years, but she's been feeling unfulfilled and stagnant. She's been applying for promotions to break out of her monotonous routine, but every opportunity seems to shut in her face. Sarah is experiencing closed doors in her current circumstance. Now let's consider another scenario. Tom has been in a relationship for 5 years. He's ready to propose, but his partner tells him she's not ready for marriage. Tom is heartbroken, feeling as though this door has abruptly closed. In both of these examples, Sarah and Tom could interpret these closed doors as failures or rejections. They might feel discouraged or even question their worth. But what if Sarah and Tom saw these closed doors differently? What if they considered these closed doors as signs for redirection, not rejection? You see, closed doors often make us pause and take a closer look at our path. They force us to re-evaluate our direction and consider other possibilities. Perhaps Sarah's consistent lack of promotion is a sign that she needs to explore opportunities outside her current company, or even a different career path altogether. And maybe Tom's failed proposal is a sign that he needs to focus on personal growth before committing to a lifelong partnership. Closed doors can be incredibly frustrating, but they can also be powerful catalysts for change. They can push us out of our comfort zones and into new unexplored territories where we can grow and thrive. It's crucial to remember that just because a door closes, it doesn't mean that all doors are closed. Maybe you're like Sarah or Tom. Maybe you've been experiencing closed doors in your life. If so, I encourage you to shift your perspective. Don't view these closed doors as rejections, but as redirections. Consider what these closed doors are trying to tell you. Are they nudging you towards a different path? Are they prompting you to reevaluate your current circumstances? Remember, every door that closes is often a sign that there's another one waiting to be opened. It's about perception, patience, and persistence. So the next time you face a closed door, don't despair. Instead, take a step back, take a deep breath, and prepare yourself for the next door that's about to open. When one door closes, another opens. It's all about perspective. The fifth sign is being stretched beyond your comfort zone. Let's dive right into this. We're all familiar with our comfort zones, aren't we? It's that cozy place where everything feels safe, familiar, and easy. But have you ever noticed how little growth happens when we stay snug inside this zone? Just like a caterpillar must struggle out of its cocoon to become a butterfly, we too must be willing to endure discomfort to experience growth and transformation. Think about it. Our most profound personal and spiritual growth often occurs during times of hardship or challenge. It's in those moments when we're pushed to our limits, when we're asked to do something we've never done before, or when we're faced with situations that make us uncomfortable. That's when we learn the most about ourselves and about our faith. Consider the story of Moses, a man who was called by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Talk about being stretched beyond a comfort zone. Moses was not a natural-born leader. He was not eloquent. In fact, he was slow of speech and tongue. Yet God saw his potential and called him into a role that was far beyond his comfort zone. Despite his fears and insecurities, Moses trusted in God and stepped out in faith. And the result? he became one of the greatest leaders in biblical history. Or take the example of David, a humble shepherd boy who was chosen by God to become a king. David had to face a giant, literally, to fulfill his destiny. Fighting Goliath was certainly not within David's comfort zone, but he faced the challenge head-on, with faith in God. His victory over Goliath was a testament to the power of faith and a clear indication that God uses uncomfortable situations to shape us into the people he wants us to become. Being stretched beyond your comfort zone can be scary. It's human nature to resist change, to shy away from unfamiliar situations. But remember, when you're feeling stretched, it's often a sign that God is working in your life. He's pushing you to grow, to step out in faith, to trust Him more deeply. Embracing discomfort is not about seeking out pain or hardship. It's about recognizing that growth requires change, and change can be uncomfortable. It's about trusting that God has a plan for your life, even when that plan pushes you beyond what you're used to. It's about having the courage to step out of your comfort zone and into the growth zone, knowing that God is there with you every step of the way. So the next time you find yourself feeling stretched instead of resisting, lean into it. See it as an opportunity for growth. Ask God for strength and courage. Trust that He is guiding you, shaping you, preparing you for something greater. Growth happens outside of our comfort zone. Embrace the stretch. The sixth and final sign is having a fresh longing to do something different. Often we find ourselves in a rut, following the same routine, the same patterns, day in and day out. Life becomes predictable. But then, out of the blue, you experience a stirring in your soul, a desire to break free from the mundane, to explore new horizons. This fresh longing to do something different, my friends, can be a significant sign that a higher power is nudging you towards a new path. Let's consider a simple example to illustrate this concept. Imagine a successful corporate executive who has spent years climbing the corporate ladder, achieving accolades, and generally being successful by societal standards. But one day there's a shift. They start dreaming of opening a small organic farm or writing a novel or teaching in a rural school. This longing for something different, something that might not even make sense in their current life trajectory, can be a divine signal. It's as if a new chapter of their life is waiting to be written. This longing can come in many forms. It could be a desire to change your career entirely, or perhaps it's a pull towards a new hobby or interest that you've never explored before. Maybe it's a longing to travel, see new places, meet new people. Sometimes it might even be a longing to let go of material possessions and live a simpler, more meaningful life. These longings can manifest in countless ways, but the common thread is the desire for change, for something different. Now, it's essential to honor these longings. They are not merely whims or fleeting desires. They are calls from within, guiding you towards your true purpose, helping you align with your authentic self. However, honoring these longings doesn't mean you should act impulsively or make rash decisions. It's about acknowledging these longings, giving them space in your life, and then taking thoughtful, purposeful steps to explore them. For instance, if you have a longing to change your career, you might start by researching different career options, speaking with people in those fields, perhaps even trying out an internship or part-time work in that area. This exploration allows you to understand your longing better and helps you make informed decisions about your next steps. Remember, these longings are not random. They are not mere whims or fantasies. They are divine seeds planted in your soul, waiting to sprout and grow. They are signposts, guiding you towards your true purpose, your true calling. And when you heed these signposts, when you honor these longings, you step into alignment with your true self, with the divine plan for your life. So pay attention to these longings, these stirrings in your soul. They are messages from the divine, urging you to break free from the rut, to step into the unknown, to do something different. And when you heed this call, you'll find yourself on a journey of self-discovery, of growth, of transformation. A journey that leads you towards your true purpose, your true calling. Your longings are not random, they are divine seeds planted in your soul. We've explored the 6 signs that could indicate God is leading you in a new direction. These potential indicators are not just arbitrary, but profound signals that can guide us towards a path that's aligned with our higher purpose. Let's quickly revisit these signs to solidify our understanding. The first sign is feeling God's prompting, an inner nudge that often comes when we're quiet and reflective. It's a divine whisper that gently pushes us towards change. The second sign is facing difficult situations. Sometimes life's challenges are not mere obstacles, but transformative opportunities designed to steer us towards a different course. The third sign is feeling restless and unsettled. This restlessness can be an inner call to move, change, and grow. It's our spirit's way of telling us that we're meant for something more, something different. The fourth sign is experiencing closed doors in current circumstances. When one door closes, another opens. These so-called setbacks can often be setups for greater things to come. The fifth sign is being stretched beyond your comfort zone. Growth often happens outside our comfort zones, and this discomfort might be a sign that you're being prepared for something new. Lastly, the sixth sign is having a fresh longing to do something different. This longing can be a divine nudge, pushing you towards a path that aligns more with your soul's purpose. Remember, these signs are not definitive proof, but guides to help you seek God's guidance and trust His plan. It's important to be open to taking steps of faith and to seek confirmation through prayer and wise counsel. If you found this video useful, please comment below and share your experiences. We would love to hear from you.